Okay, so unlike Mike's message, there are insects that really like it dry. Number one would be grasshoppers. I did some sweeping in the wheat and the lentils here. Grasshoppers are not an issue this year, but this is the perfect conditions for grasshopper buildup. So the few that I found in the sweeps here are all going to make it through. Even if it rains hard now, they're second, third instar. That means they're fairly resistant to getting bombed by rain. If we get rains when they first emerge, the first instars, they can completely wipe out grasshoppers. So that's the difference we're looking at today. Not big numbers here, but the message on grasshoppers are pay attention to where they are this fall, because that's where they're going to be a problem next year. Okay? So if there's one message you get out of grasshoppers today is probably not a big problem 2019, but it's building up for a 2020 problem. So where the problems are this fall, where the big numbers are, that's where you scout first next year. Okay? That's number one on the love it dry list. Number two is wheat stem sawfly. If you've never seen an adult wheat stem sawfly, I have one in the bag that I pulled out of the wheat here. Wheat stem sawfly like it dry, and maybe not this dry. There's not much stem for them to eat, but we're going to see a resurgence in the wheat stem sawfly. I know you've all dealt with it. Back in the early 2000s, it was bad in here. So this is a build-up year for wheat stem sawfly as well. If we get rain through into the season, later into the season, and it delays our harvest, then it's less so. Where am I standing? That's the problem. Okay, so we pass these around. The one is labeled, the other is not. The wheat stem sawfly looks like a little black wasp with yellow stripes on it. So you can look for those. The other thing you will see in these bags is it's mostly beneficial insects. The orange and bluish ones are actually soft flower beetle, and they're predatory, both as larvae and as adults. If you look real close, you'll see wee little black specks. They're actually a parasitic wasp that's hanging out in your wheat. And the parasitic wasp is actually attacking, if you look real close in the anthers, you'll see little green worms, and they're probably keying in on those. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the wheat, even though it's not great crop this year. But most of the life in there are actually beneficial insects. So, okay. I will say I swept in it's starting to rain now. Yeah, okay, so we got seconds before it turns into a mud hole. I swept in the lentils, and there is really nothing going on. Lentils get bad aphids in wet years. Dry years, very few aphids. So I found one aphid in about 50 sweeps. So some insects like it wet, and others like it dry. We're into the ones that like it dry right now. So. Any questions? I don't think I need to belabor the point. I'll pass this around as well. Any questions before? No?
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to all of the instructors.
Oh.